Hey there, it's Klunk, and I hope you're having a great day so far. Today we're going to be talking about how honesty is the best policy. And before we really start talking about it, I just wanted to say that I read this thing this morning, which was honestly the inspiration for making this, because I really didn't have a theme and or a topic to talk about. And it said, um, honesty without kindness is brutality, and kindness without honesty is manipulation. And I really agree with the first one that honesty without kindness is brutality. Well, not. I wouldn't say brutality. It's brutal though, right? I wouldn't know. I don't know if I'd go so far to say is kindness without honesty is manipulation. What I would say it's not nice. It's not good. Um, but yeah, let's just get into the main part of this. So honesty is the best policy, and I try to, as much as I can, I try to live by the thing of I'd rather be honest than lie, and that doesn't mean like I'm gonna be brutally honest, right? I still very very much care about how I make other people feel. So I'm not gonna, you know, completely disregard someone's feelings in honesty, and it is a conundrum, right? Because sometimes you have to lie. There's just something that's it's better to lie. There's just things that are better to lie about than to really be honest because it's just a social situation, right? It's kind of like the social awareness of knowing when you need to lie, instead of telling the brutal honest truth. But don't let that be some sort of justification to lie about things all the time. You know, I always think that the the repercussions you will face from honesty will weigh on you far less than the repercussions you will face from lying. Because, excuse me, because lying is, I think, will kind of build up like an infection. It'll fester until it eventually becomes so big that you can't control it, and then it just explodes, and then the side effects of that just greatly outweigh the positives. Which was the positives were probably only just had not having to deal with the consequences for like a little bit, So I'd say, like, I don't know, just try and be an honest person. Um, I think this also goes along with communication. Um, Say like you're going into a you're talking to somebody, right? And you're not in a relationship or any sort of title or anything like that. But you want to, right? I think if you're talking to somebody, you want to be clear with your intentions with that person. You want to be honest with how you want to move forward with that person and how you kind of want to be treated and all that, right? Boundaries and honesty. And yeah, that's way better than just like not saying anything and just kind of letting things play out and then only letting that person know what you're comfortable and or uncomfortable with ahead of time, because that can lead to arguments, that can just lead to distrust, that can lead to so many things that are just not worth it. So, it's better to just be honest right off the bat, rather than deal with these things that can end up being way worse in the long term, rather than if you just said it right away and have there be no problem, right? So, you know, obviously, I'm not gonna force you how to live your life. This is just advice. If you want to take it, you're more than welcome. If you don't, that's fine. People have people want to live their lives the way they want to. So if you think you think you know what's best for you or your life, go ahead and do that. I don't want to force you to take this advice from me. Because if you feel like something, I don't want you to blindly take this. Think about it. I want you to take what I'm saying, think about it, compare it to what you already know, and decide whether, should I listen to this, or is this even worth taking, or, what's that? All that stuff. I don't want people who watch these videos to blindly just listen or do anything I tell them, because that's really, I feel like, defeats the purpose of advice. Advice is like a good guide to move forward with your life, and know what needs to be get done. But I think just only following it might not always be the best. It could be, if you're really in the hole. I do think that maybe you should just listen to it. But if you're just chilling, life's pretty decent, take it with a grain of salt. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't, don't. But yeah, honesty it's a good thing, right? It's a good thing to practice. It's a good thing to have. And I do think that being more comfortable with being honest, like, obviously you should still take people's feelings into consideration. You can't, there's two sides of the coin, right? And being completely on one side, think of it like this, right? How a coin has two sides. You kind of want to be balanced in the middle. You don't want to be heads, you don't want to be completely heads, and you don't want to be completely tails, right? So let's just say that the head side, you're completely logistical, or just honest, you disregard feelings completely, right? You don't care about people's feelings, you end up coming off as mean, all that stuff, right? And then on the other side, you are completely you care too much about others' feelings, right? And you end up not doing what you need to, just to spare how they feel a little bit, right? So you want to find that balance where it's like, how can I say this but also not come off as an asshole, And then if you do, you can find a way to justify it. Like, you can clarify yourself. It's like, I'm doing this out of. But some people who are brutally honest use that as an excuse, so you also kind of have to be wary. Like, because there's like 8 billion people in this world. There's bound to be some people who use brutal honesty to just outright disrespect others, and then just claim that they're doing it out of care. Which I don't know if there's really a way of telling to know if somebody's doing that, so always just kind of with a grain of salt, But yeah, I don't really know how much honesty I've like I'm not telling lies all the time, but I'm not usually like, I don't really have any real life examples that I can think of right now that of me using honesty in pair with like that balance. I think one thing I do, I guess in my entire channel, right, I'm kind of giving my honest opinion, but also I try to always let you guys know that I am not I'm not all knowing. These are really just things I say and I feel like people can benefit from, but they don't have to listen. Like, I'm always don't take it to face value, I guess is the best way to put it, right? Because at the end of the day, I don't, I'm almost here. I've almost been here for 17 years on this earth, right? Almost. I don't know nothing compared to other people. I don't have that like great amount of wisdom. I think I have a good amount, I think I have a good amount of wisdom and awareness to give some pretty decent advice, but I don't have all the answers. Nor do I think that all my answers are correct, probably. I hope they are. But in no way do I think these are like the definitive answers, you know? But, yeah, man. I think that's gonna wrap it up for this video. This was a bit of a yap, and I'm sorry. There's also not too much I can really talk about here. So, I'll just leave you with this. Stay honest, but don't disregard people's feelings. Find that balance where you want to tell somebody what they need to hear for the best for them, but also at the same time, don't destroy their emotions, right? I hope that makes sense, and I hope that if you put this into practice, you will find that balance. But yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and don't forget to tell somebody you love them, and I'll see y'all next week. Later.